Some bridges are better off burnt. For those of you who this video is for, you've either burned a bridge or you're getting ready to burn a bridge. Like there's something that's getting ready to happen that is going to burn a bridge. And when that happens, if it has not already happened, just remember, some bridges are better off burnt. For some of you, this is going to be a thing to where there could be a person or somebody that you've been needing to cut off, something that you've been led to do, but you haven't done it. And now you're going to see that this person, let's say, pulls back from you, or this person does something, or they cut you off. This is going to help you to burn a bridge that you should have been burnt long time ago. For a lot of you, somebody's getting ready to do something. Or if it's not something that they're physically doing, they're going to say something that's going to reveal their true character to you. They're going to say something to you that you won't forget. Some of you are going to be dealing with a person that's like, some of you got just genuine snakes around you, or you have a snake around you, or you was raised by one, or you had some in your family. For a lot of you who this is for, this is somebody that you got a very close connection with. So if this is not a family that you was born into or raised in, this is somebody that could be your spouse, somebody that you could be married to. This could be somebody that if you, let's say you have a business partner and y'all like this, they say when you doing business or you have business partners, that's just like a marriage. That is sometimes closer than a marriage. Some of you, as I'm saying, is you got somebody that you're with that always talking about being with a business partner, and a business partner relationship is more than business partnership. Side note, that's not for everybody. It's for like one or two people looking at this, and you'll know because it's not going to make you start second guessing. That's going to be confirmation of something that you was already picking up intuitively. This isn't for everybody. Just because your partner might have a business partner that might not be for you, you'll know if that's for you. But some of you, again, are getting ready to cross the point of no return with somebody. And the person that you're getting ready to pass the point of no return with is a snake in your life that you don't realize how much their energy has held you back. Some of you have a person in your life who they work against you. 222 as I said that. We're coming into seasons, especially as chosen ones. Mark my word, 2026 is the true rise of the chosen one. I'm not saying that because it's a new year. Like the chosen one's been gearing up. The chosen one's been getting prepared. If you know, we've been on this journey. Shouts out to everybody who has specifically been on patreon.com/prettybosstv, whether you were there 2023, 24, 25. But specifically, I can't even say that. It's really started 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024. We did some significant work. Each year we were building on something spiritually. We were going through the purge. We've been through those different phases and we worked through that together. Shouts out to everybody who has been there. Shouts out to everybody who's still on Patreon. If you're still on Patreon, just know that you're my real ones. I got to post something today to invite y'all to a group. I'm going to invite members only, not free members, but those of y'all who have been subscribed and didn't leave me because I have been going through some things for the past couple months and putting things together and can post every day. Shout out to my real ones who are there. Some people support you like that, and I really appreciate y'all. It's a lot that I put out. It's a lot that I do. But how many people think to get back? People just take. I'm used to it. But I appreciate those of you who stand for me even when I'm not able to be strong. Some of y'all are spiritually tapped in like me. Also, I got to give a big shout out to Frank, the Bank Soul Family. Okay? But some of y'all are getting ready to burn a bridge, and if this is not something this physically happening to where you're physically having to burn a bridge or just getting there, this is something that you're doing where it's like it's almost like I'm hearing this is at a soul level. You know how we talk about cutting cords and breaking ties? You're cutting something off at a soul level to where no matter where you are in this world, no matter where you are in this galaxy, this universe, this infinite space and time, you cutting cord, this person ain't never going to be able to cross your path again. 422 as I said that. Not until judgment day. Not until everything comes back to oneness, but that's an eternity away from now. Eternity's eternity. I always say, and we're going to start talking about more spiritual concepts over here because I just have so much that the Most High has deposited in me on me over the years that I haven't been able to share, but we sharing it. It's a time to share certain things. But one of the ways that the Most High makes me understand things, even when we talk about eternity, The scripture said that God seeks that which has been driven away. It also says God puts eternity in the heart of man so that he will not know the beginning from the end. But eternity exists in you. You are part of eternity. But the thing about it and how I see everything and how the Most High, how I conceptualize what the Most High is depositing onto me in terms of this awareness or knowledge, quote unquote, is everything is just one breath. Everything is just an exhale and an inhale. So right now we are in the exhale. Everything is separate. Everybody looks separate. I look separate from my television in front of me. I look separate from you. You look like you're watching me. All these things, everything is separated. That's the out breath that we're experiencing. But on the in breath, everything comes back to oneness. Everything come back to wholeness. And then guess what you do after you inhale? Then you exhale again. This is the nature of eternity, but we're not going to get into that. That's not what this video is about. You're getting ready, or already, like I said, somebody is either getting ready to expose themselves to you, or you're getting ready to do something to where you might, and the confirmation on this is for some of you, you're getting ready to stand your ground on something. If somebody's already crossed you, and whoever this is for, this person has done this multiple times. You're used to this, okay? This is somebody that has shown you who they are multiple times. Okay, now y'all can see that's Pretty Boss TV back there. You feel me? This is somebody that has done this to you multiple times. Let's be clear. This is somebody that the Most High has been telling you to cut the head of the snake. This is another prophetic message. Some of you, there's somebody that you got to cut ties with. Some of you, it could be more than one person. It could be multiple people, because some of you ended up in some codependent situations. A lot of you could have been raised in a dysfunctional environment where the person who was supposed to be caring for you, the person who was supposed to be helping you emotionally through your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 12-year-old stage, they were not. They were also a child. So for some of you, you never had the chance as a child to actually be a child and develop naturally in terms of your emotional intelligence and your mind. Now, many of you have done the work and you've achieved that. You've learned how to do that. You know, people are not just born with emotional intelligence. And if people are, that's rare. But this is something that you're typically taught. And even if it's not through words that you're taught emotional intelligence, if you are raised by people who have emotional intelligence, you'll pick it up from their actions, right? How they deal with you, how they even help you work through your emotions. For a lot of you, you never had that. So you could have been raised in an environment where it was very codependent and you had to play the role of an adult in a very deep way, even emotionally. For a lot of you, you are emotionally responsible for a figure, a parental figure or a guardian that was around you. Okay. It's almost like you're supposed to be the child, but this person was your little sister or your little brother. And you had to carry certain things that children shouldn't have to carry. But again, all things work together for good. So now you're to a place, especially for those of you who've done the work. And for on Pretty Boss TV over here, I'm not going to lie, we've been on this journey for a while. So we're going to the next level. Anybody who's just beginning or, you know, just coming into self-awareness or just starting to heal, go check out the old videos. But I'm doing this content for those of us who we already been doing the work. We ain't new to this spiritual journey. Been on that. Been clear about that. Been back and forth through many long dark nights of the souls. Who? Been through many wildernesses. Who? You feel what I'm saying? The righteous fall 7 times and rise again type energy. This is who I'm doing this for. We not new out here. We true to this. But everything is evolving. So many of you have done the work. You've come into the work, even if you're still healing, which all of us are. Nothing that has to be done, family. This is eternity here that we're speaking of. There's no such things. Oh, we're just perfect. We're done. When you're perfect, then you're dead. Then you're done, right? Quote unquote dead, because death doesn't really exist. Another video for another day. But again, you're in a place where you're not the same. You've been able to acquire the tools that you were not given, that you didn't have early on. And now you're in a space to where there are just certain people and certain things that cannot go. So again, some of you were raised in a codependent situation. And whether we're talking about this first codependent relationship that you had, very unhealthy enmeshment, when your life is enmeshed with another's, you don't even have your own identity. Some of you have somebody who, even, you know how they'll say when you're a child and you have let's say you have a child and you're a parent, of course, your role with your child should change, right? So from age to 1 to from newborn to like 3, that's one stage of parenting. Then you got the toddler, right? Then you got the adolescent. Then you have the preteen, teenager, right? Then you have the adult. When you're a healthy person, when you're a healthy parent, the way that you interact with your child is going to change during each of those stages. You're not going to be dealing with a teenager or an adult or a young adult in the same way that you deal with a 1 to 3-year-old. But when you have people that are enmeshed, they cannot separate this. They only understand control. This is why some of you could have had parents where it's like maybe early on, maybe they seem to favor you. Like some of you understand what it feels like to be the golden child and the black sheep. So typically, especially if you're raised in a narcissistic environment, you could possibly at one point in time when you were younger, when you didn't have a mind of your own, when you didn't even have your first memory yet, you could have had a different relationship with the narcissist, right? Because maybe they could make you into their image. But the day that you start to get your own identity, that you start to have your own thoughts, your own likes, you'll see, boom, you instantly become the black sheep. Because now you're not exactly who they want you to be when you want to be. Narcissists don't have the ability to separate. That they think they own everything. They can't see. They don't see you as you. They see you as an extension of them. A narcissist cannot see outside of themselves. And it's to an extreme level. I'm not talking about people who are narcissistic. Okay, we can all be narcissistic. Let's be clear. Okay, there's a law of narcissism. I love it. It's one of my favorite modern authors, Robert Greene. Shouts out to him. Dude is phenomenal. He has a book called The Laws of Human Nature, one of my favorite books. And in there, he has a part where it talks about the law of narcissism, and he talks about how everybody is on the spectrum. But we're not talking about having narcissistic tendencies or acting like narcissists. We're talking about people with narcissistic personality disorder, NPD. That is a brain dysfunction. Okay. If you've ever asked yourself whether or not you're a narcissist, 99 times out of 100, you're probably not, because a narcissist would never ask themselves that question. A narcissist would never look inside, because if a narcissist looks inside of themselves, they will literally self-destruct. Honestly. Okay. A true narcissist. So this word is, I just want to throw that out there because this term is often thrown out. Oh, narcissist, it's very few people who truly have experienced a true NPD narcissist. To me, these are the real R words of the world. I know we can't say that in modern day society, so y'all know what I mean by R word. It's not the people who have certain things and neurologies that are not functioning. Is none of our children that are coming out in the different ways they're coming out. Many chosen ones have children that are different because they're not meant to fit into the matrix. Side note, that's specific confirmation for some of you. But to me, the real R word in this world are narcissists. They have zero emotional capacity, zero emotional intelligence. Everything is about control, manipulation, and pure evil. Whoever you're getting ready to put your boundaries up against or burn bridges with is this type of person. And I didn't want to make this too long, but again, for some of you, you ended up in a codependent situation like that early on due to somebody who was dysfunctional, narcissistic, whatever, sociopathic, you name it. And because of that, you had a pattern of getting in relationships, codependent relationships with other people. Some of you could have ended up in a specific relationship, even as of lately, where you were tied to somebody or had a codependent structure with somebody that you might not even have realized was the same thing that you dealt with when you were younger. Because then you have this thing called covert narcissists, which to me is the ultimate demon. Give me a grandiose narcissist any day of the week, baby. At least be loud and proud with your narcissism. But a covert narcissist, please cut the head off the snake. There's a bridge is getting ready to burn. Somebody's getting ready to show you their true colors. And when they do, believe it. Believe it. Don't go back. Don't feel guilty for the bridge being burned. Don't question it. Do not look back. This is giving Lot when they said, run and do not look back lest you turn to a pillar of salt. His wife looked back and she was back there. Turn to a pillar of salt. Don't look back. Stand your ground. Some bridges are much better off being burnt. Believe it. Another thing, before I even end this out, is some of you, a bridge is being burnt or a bridge has burned that you might have had some type of codependent, like you might have needed it. It could have been the person that was supporting you financially. A lot of narcissists, you'll see with a lot of narcissists, they do this too. They'll use money. That's why even when you see children or certain people who are raised in narcissistic environments, like usually, unless they'll usually have a pretty physical life, like where there are material things there, but that's the only thing that's there. And I know that can be probably confusing for somebody to understand who's like, well, I didn't have nothing material. We didn't even have food on the table for real. Like I was the one who had to go out and get it for my family as a kid. Right. And that's a whole different type of struggle too. And I can understand how somebody like that might not understand like the horrors of that being there, but then there's nothing else. You got a parent that don't even love you. You never even felt that. If you hug a narcissist, I promise you it's empty. I swear to God. Like, if you know, you know. Look into their eye, it's like a demon laughing at you. If you know, you know. Okay? But some of you could have a tie. Some of you that this cord is being burnt. God is making sure it's burned because it could be some type of financial ties. Like you could have a financial codependency. Even a lot of times when women, women out here forcing, oh, just marry an ugly old dude and, just he'll take care of you. Like, you got to understand when you're dealing with people that got money, a lot of people ain't never dealt with a millionaire. A lot of people ain't never dealt with a billionaire. Or it don't even have to be that high. It could just be somebody comfortably making comfortable six figures. But a lot of time when you come across these type of people, oh, they'll try to control you. Okay. And a lot of people get what they have to be able to control and manipulate others. And especially narcissists. This is their ultimate tool is finances. Because then they can have you stuck. So some of you might be suffering now because of a cord that you cut or somebody that you cut off or somebody that burned a bridge with you or you burned the bridge. Stick it through. Because remember, Jehovah Jireh, God is our provider. The Most High is our provider. And always remember, God is in you. If you ever question, where is God? Why don't I feel God? All you got to do is close your eyes, baby, because you're going to feel God right inside yourself. That's where God dwells, in your temple. Holy Spirit dwells inside of you. Event coming up December 8th to the 14th. Where y'all at? Are y'all not trying to get spiritually amped up around here? I need to know. You feel me? Where y'all at? We closing out 2025 with a banger, going through 2026, kicking down doors. Pure David energy, David consecration, David awakening coming up. This got to be fortified. Psalm 91, some of the most powerful Psalms that you can read that really got power. People can't point you all the time to the scriptures with power. There are scriptures as power that will break yokes if you know what you're doing with that word. Who wrote Psalms? Who wrote David's? Those songs came from David. That was the man after God's heart. You got to have that David anointing. David slayed Goliath. This ain't even just about literally slaying a giant. Ain't no giants walking around now, but the giants against your life. It might be them giant finances, that giant debt, them giant taxes that you owe, them giant student loans, them giant narcissists that you got that it seems like, man, why I can't break this cycle? Some people got some real giants they dealing with. That giant that of a health issue that is like, what's going on with this? Why won't this move? Look, family, we breaking yokes on God. David consecration coming up December 8th through the 14th. If you're in the building, you can get tickets on prettybosstv.com. Or if you want to get it for the $99 special, you can send $99 to Pretty Boss TV Cash App and then send me an email to prettybosstv@gmail.com and I'll send you your official ticket. If I ever say anything in this video and you're like, what did you say? I got it pinned in the comments. And I also have this also pinned in the description of this video to where you can just click the links to get access to the David consecration that we got coming up. Where are my Davids at? Where my Davids at? If my Davids are, they better put them double swords up. That's my favorite person in the Bible. David and Yeshua. David's son of David is Yeshua. Okay? And then we got David, the one that came before Yeshua. That's my guy. Okay? Where my Davids at? Let me know. I know all the women love Esther. Everybody want to be married. We did the Esther Awakening. It wasn't what they thought it was. The Esther Awakening was for everybody. That was about being ready for a time such as this. That was about not going against your purpose for anybody or anything. That was about understanding that God would give you certain blessings and put you certain situations because there's a certain reason that you're there. Not just to be like, oh, I'm the queen married to a king. No, you here to save a whole generation. So do what I tell you to do. That was what that's about. being on code, being on purpose, regardless of the circumstances. Let me say it like Gen Z and the new generation, irregardless. Not a word, but a word that many people have created. It's actually regardless. David Awakening, baby, that's having on the helmet. That's having on them swords. We taking over the promised land. We knocking down the giants. We going into 2026 fortified what? Chosen ones stand up. All links are below. Y'all let me know if this resonates with you in the comments. And if you my Davids, I need some swords and I need them shields in the comments below. I'll talk to y'all soon. Y'all willing. Peace.